Coming up on ATV News, another car ends up in the Logan River. Who's at fault, the road or the driver?
We'll catch you up on the national elections as well as what's hitting you on the most local level.
In sports, you know basketball lost, but I'll tell you who won and who won big.
We've still got puddles from last week's storm. I'll let you know if this puddle will grow, shrink, or freeze over.
And USU's big band swing team celebrates Black History Month in a hoppin' way. Welcome to ATV News. I'm Jessica Black.
And I'm Bailey McMurday. You may remember the dramatic rescue in Logan Canyon last New Year's Eve.
Yesterday, yet another car slid into the river at that same spot. Kelsey Keller went to the crash and joins us live with the story. Kelsey?
Yeah, Jess and Bailey, actually just last year alone, 9 cars slid off the road and into the river at mile marker 473. And yesterday, a 10th car slid into the river at that same notorious spot. Colleen Larkin and her boyfriend planned on spending the day skiing at Beaver Mountain. But on the drive there, the fun day in the snow was cut short. After taking a sharp corner too fast, the car went off the road, submerging the front half of it into the water.
Well, I was just going around that curve right there, and I think I slipped in some snow and just lost control of the car, and I was going in the other lane, so tried to correct and I overcorrected and it just went right into the river.
It's a location where the sun doesn't reach the roadway, so the road is extra cold right here during the winter months, and the snow will accumulate here and cars simply come into this turn too fast for those conditions and end up in the river right here.
I'm just really shaken up, feel really bad. It wasn't my car, so I ruined my boyfriend's car.
Now, there were no injuries, they were just shaken up and, as you can imagine, a bit wet.
Well, are they doing anything to maybe decrease the amount of accidents happening in this area?
Yeah, actually UDOT is looking into a few different options. They just can't put up a guardrail because of the narrowness of the turn, and they're thinking of putting up a more traction-friendly surface come spring, but until then they'll just keep putting up more signs.
Okay, well thanks Kelsey. We'll see you again at weather. The ASUU primary elections are next week, and as important as the president and executive VP are, it's hard to meet all your candidates. So Brianna Bodley does it for you. Brianna, what have you got for us?
With 4 candidates running for president and 2 for executive VP, in a campus this big, you can expect they're all going to be pretty different.
What do you mean by that?
Well, everything from motivation to experience differs in each candidate. I predict this year is going to be a very interesting race. For Smitty Hartland, participating with other students in everyday activities like ping pong make him confident he can represent all types of students in USU.
I'm here to represent all different types and backgrounds of people.
Adam Vale says it is his non-traditional background that sets him up to be a great president.
Being married with 5 kids, the experience, the life lessons, the things that it's taught me, no other candidate has that.
Hannah Blackburn believes her past experience and understanding of ASUSU gives her an edge over the competition.
This year I've served as an ASUSU officer, as an appointed officer.
Finally, Christian Thrapp says it is his unique background that sets him apart from the other candidates.
I can bring to the table different things and from a different background that maybe the others can't.
Wilson and Kingsley agree that for executive VP, experience is the most important qualification.
Experience. I think that's the key word. I've been down to the state capitol and the Government Relations Council for 3 years now.
Basically, I've been in second in command to Kirsten, so I think that I'm in a great position to fill in for her.
And platforms? 3 of the presidential candidates focus on turning up the volume on the student body's megaphone, while the 5th threads its needle by adding value to students' lives.
I'd love to create an easier way or a new medium to communicate between ASU and the student body.
There's these set State of the University forums where they can come. I'm just sitting there as the president and being able to talk to them one-on-one.
The Executive Council actively seeks out club presidents and other leaders of organizations so that they can get their voice on different things that are happening in the university.
So one of those ways to add value is to increase the number of classes that are offered, maybe as early as they're offered or offering them later.
Wilson and Kingsford duel out the importance of raising student awareness in the legislature and raising political awareness on campus.
If politicians know that students aren't going to vote, they're not going to pay attention to what we have to say.
I would think that it would be terrible as executive vice president to not make that a priority and to not have that be your goal of helping educate students about government.
Primary elections start Monday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. For more information, go to ASUSU's website.
Thanks for the update, Brianna. And Aggies, be sure you get out there and vote so your voice can be heard.
The GOP candidacy is still a tight race, which means your voice can make a difference. With less than 9 months to the general election, the GOP is still campaigning furiously to determine their contender for the presidency. Mitt Romney, while currently the frontrunner, is by no means out of the woods. As Rick Santorum is picking up momentum among voters, Newt Gingrich holds third place, with Ron Paul in last place. As close as this race has been, the election ads has kept pace, showcasing those tender moments with the candidates while throwing mud at the competition. With 10 states up for the grabs, the next few months are going to be crucial in determining who the nomination will go to. Meanwhile, it's still anyone's game. The next primary election will be in Arizona on Tuesday, February 28th.
2 teenagers are in the hospital today after a car crash that could have claimed both of their lives Friday night. The couple was driving down 2nd South in Hyde Park when the driver lost control of the vehicle and the passenger side of the car slammed against a tree. Rescue crews and responders had to rip off the top of the car to free the trapped teenagers, and the identities of the victims have not yet been released, although police say it is a boy and a girl who may have been out for a joyride. One person was transported to Cache Valley Specialty Hospital, while the other was taken to Logan Regional Hospital.
There's a lot of people here. We brought in rescue crews from Smithfield and Logan and North Logan to help with the extrication and the removal of the driver and the passenger. There's no way we're going to find him. The problem is kids get adventurous and they come down the road fast enough to get air.
Coming up, find out how you can get free money for school.
And why some students in Logan are now having to pay money for what used to be a simple mark on your record. If you're looking for free money to go to school, you might want to visit the financial aid office before it's too late. The financial aid office works with about $150 million in financial assistance each school year. This amount has increased in the last 5 years. FAFSA, or Federal Student Aid, is based on your personal income, family size, family's income, personal assets, and the age of your parents. Steve Sharp, director of the Financial Aid Office, says every student can qualify for some type of aid.
$550 a year will be available to about 100 less students under some new rules this coming year than were last year.
Last fall, 9,300 USU students received grants, and this fall you could be one of them.
It's first come, first serve, so the sooner you apply, the better your chances. What if you had to pay with money from your own pocket every time you were late? Well, that's what's happening at Logan High School. The Logan City School Board approved in issuing truancy tickets to students who are in the halls without a pass. The first violation results in a $15 fine, the second a $30 fine, and 3 or more violations results in a $45 fine. Many people feel the policy is a bit extreme.
Honestly, I think I'd just not go to class if I was late, you know, if I really didn't feel like it. Instead of showing up tardy and paying $15, I think I'd just ditch class.
I would give 1 or 2 tardies before I started charging. Well, I don't know. There's 2 sides of me. There's the teacher side of me that says, get to class. And there's the kid side of me that says $15 is expensive for a high school student.
Students who are issued a ticket will be marked as truant on the roll and will also be required to attend Saturday Credit Restoration School.
How did you honor our presidents last Monday? Do you know what this federal holiday is all about? I wanted to know what students here at USU really knew about this break from school, so I grabbed my gear and got out there.
President's Day? I don't know. I think it's because Washington and Lincoln's birthday both fall kind of in this general area, and they're like, why have 2 holidays when you can have one that's twice as good?
I
I really have no idea anything about President's Day.
I think it was like 2 presidents' birthdays, and it's like in between. That is kind of what I remember from elementary school, but I'm not sure if that's right.
President's Day? I don't know.
Presidents? Isn't it President's Day?
Instead of doing something like reading the Constitution to celebrate our presidents, most students say they would much rather stay at home and sleep in late.
I don't know, I just kind of do whatever the heck I want, go mountain biking, whatever. I probably should read some amendments or something, but I don't really celebrate it.
What do you do for President's Day?
I usually just use it as like a lazy day, hang out with my family, stuff like that.
I don't really do anything for President's Day.
Nothing, just hang out with family.
So you don't do anything to celebrate your presidents?
No.
Hang out with my family and just do stuff with them.
That's how you honor our presidents?
I feel that is the best way to honor the men who gave everything for our ability to live comfortably in this country is to do nothing to make it a better place.
Yeah, we have school off and like I'm working, you know, get time and a half, but other than that, like I don't really do anything.
President's Day was actually started to honor George Washington and Abraham Lincoln's birthdays, which both fall in the month of February.
The federal name of the holiday is actually Washington's birthday, but now it's a day to celebrate all presidents and is more commonly known as President's Day.
Well, the weather has been doing some crazy things this last week.
Kelsey Keller joins us from the chilly outdoors to tell us what's going on. How cold is it out there, Kelsey?
Well, it's a bit chilly and it's actually starting to rain. And I'll let you know after this break if you're going to need an umbrella over the next week. Hey Aggies, it's that time for ATV weather. Now for those of you experiencing some spring fever, hold your horses because we have some storms moving in. And as you can see, this cold front is moving in from the west coast and it is moving in our direction. So get ready to spend the weekend with some rain and snowstorms. And as you can see with many of the western states, there's actually some wind warnings in store. That's what all this purple stuff is around here. And in Logan, as you can see, we're in a white zone, which means we are under a winter storm alert. And as far as the air quality goes, we are actually scoring pretty fair here in Logan. We're in the green zone, as you can see, and we're even looking a little bit blue in some areas, which is a really good sign. So apparently all this moisture is beginning to clear up our air. And now let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Today we have some gray skies and they're threatening to drop some rain throughout the rest of the day and night. There's a 60% chance of rain and our high for the day is 49 and we have a low of 27. And tomorrow that storm should start to clear up. We'll still have some partly cloudy skies. There will be a high of 35 and a low of 18. And that brings us to Friday. Friday is looking to be a pretty balmy day. Watch out because your friends who are boarders or skiers might skip out on classes this day to enjoy that fresh pow we got earlier this week. There will be a high of 40 degrees and there will be a low of 23. And now that Friday is just being a tease because the rest of the weekend will bring in some storms. On Saturday we'll have a mixture of rain and snow with a high of 33 and a low of 23. And with Sunday the storms will continue. We should see some snowfall actually, and the high for that day will be 31 and our lows will be back into the teens. We'll have a low of 16. So my question is, do you think winter is going to decide to be fashionably late? Why don't you ponder that question during this break, because that's all I've got for ATV weather. Stick around for your ATV sports.
Welcome to ATV Sports. It's not all the time that we cover club teams on ATV, but the Aggie hockey team deserves some recognition. The Skaters blew out BYU by a score of 20-0 before receiving a regionals bye and a trip to Florida for nationals. Two Aggies broke the 100-point barrier Friday night after a 9-3 win over the University of Utah. Brian Gibbons had a hat trick that pushed him to 100 points, and Brendan McDonald finished with 108 points. The boys took some time to talk to us about the Nationals auto bid after their final game of the regular season.
I think it's great. Second time in a row. We played great tonight as a team. We played great all season as a team, and obviously being undefeated at home is great, and we're ready to go.
We know they're really good teams. We have a few things we need to tweak and work on in practice, but I think we can do it. We all know what it is.
The Aggies will be back on the ice in Fort Myers, Florida, taking on some of the best teams in the American Collegiate Hockey Association. Nationals is March 16th through the 19th. It was Bracket Buster weekend in college basketball, and the Aggies bracket was busted. UC Santa Barbara was in town Saturday night to face the Aggies. Preston Medlin led the USU with 14 points and a game-high 8 assists, while Brock Heath Payne had 13 points, all in the second half. Freshman Jordan Stone crashed the boards, pulling down a career-high 8 rebounds. The Gauchos were on fire, and the Aggies could not keep up. UCSB scored stretched lead to 16 with 11 minutes left in the game when Kyle Boswell hit a 3, and the Aggies looked like they were putting together a nice comeback with a 9-0 run that eventually cut the deficit to 6 with just 6 minutes left. The Gauchos reeled off 9 unanswered points to beat the Aggies 72-64. The Aggies are currently sitting at 14-14 and are looking to move back above 500 with their last home game of the season Friday night. The Aggie softball team had a rough weekend. The girls started off the weekend well, winning their first 3 games of the Desert Classic. The Sluggers won back-to-back games against Cal State Northridge 12-9 and picked up a 5-1 victory against UC Riverside. The Aggies beat Indiana 6-3 before dropping the final 4 games of the tournament, including a matchup against number 25 ranked Louisiana State University and a doubleheader against Southern Utah University on Monday. The Aggies' bats were on fire, though. The girls knocked 4 home runs out of the park on the weekend. Gymnastics was at home for the 3rd time in a row, and they made the meet count. The team picked up their first home win of the season against Sacramento State Friday night. The Aggies slipped to 3 event titles in their first WAC win of the season. Freshman Paige Jones tied for second, landing a 9.75 on vault before freshman Brianna Alfiero stuck a 9.575 for a career high. The Aggies have been hot on bars all season. Freshman Sarah Landis landed a 9.8 but was edged out of a win by fellow freshman Caitlin Betts, who landed a 9.825 to win. On beam, Rebecca Holiday landed a 9.825 and Landis posted a 9.775. Landis also notched a 9.85 on floor to win all around, and Amelia Montoya posted a career high 8.25. Well, the Aggies are on the road for their final home, or for their first time in a month when they travel to Provo to face off against the Cougars.
I'm super excited for the women's gymnastics team. I mean, they keep killing it on bars, and I wonder if they can even be stopped at this point.
Yeah, I'm really glad they actually got a win, you know. It's good.
I'm excited for them.
But when we come back, we'll take you to one of the most popular spring break locations. Spring break is right around the corner, and you might still be looking for a place to go.
Las Vegas is normally a popular destination. Romina Nadakovich takes us to the famous Sin City.
Las Vegas is a city unlike any other. With 125,000 hotel rooms and over 75 casinos, it is a popular destination for spring break. The Strip, where all of Vegas's famous hotels are located in, has a variety of unique hotels from the Wynn, Bellagio, and Treasure Island to Caesar's Palace. Many of the hotels copy a certain part of the world. The New York Hotel resembles the buildings in the big city. The Venetian brings you to Venice, Italy, while the Paris Hotel has a replica of the Eiffel Tower. Let's not forget the Luxor, which depicts a pyramid like the ones in Egypt. A few tourists had an opinion on why people come to Las Vegas.
So I think people go to Vegas because they want to party and they want to go out and have fun with their friends and let loose.
I think people come to Vegas for spring break because it's a laid-back, easygoing destination.
The casinos and the shopping also bring in tourists daily. With over 195,000 slot machines, over $9 billion in revenue is brought to the city because of the casinos. Shopping and fine dining is a good break from the casinos. The Strip is full of life. There is something to do for everyone on your spring break trip to Las Vegas. Romina Nadakovich, ATV News.
You know, I actually love Vegas. It's so much warmer than here. It's the perfect place for spring break, in my opinion.
I'm going.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in like 2 weeks. I'm going for the WAC tournament.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, my God. Basketball, play some blackjack, you know, have a good time.
Just check out the casinos and things like that.
I mean, I don't gamble or anything.
Well, half the fun, I think, is like just going and like getting the full experience of like, you know, all the sites and like the crazy hotels and all the things that they put on. That's always my favorite part. So, but with gas prices as high as they are, USU's engineering students may be your next heroes. With gas. Engineering Week kicked off yesterday with a luncheon. Outstanding seniors in the college received awards from the Dean, Questar CEO Ron Gibson, and alumni from USU's engineering program was the keynote speaker. Several displays, booths, and events will take place all week at the atrium in the engineering building. The festivities continue tonight and the rest of the week.
This is a night for the community and other students to come learn more about engineering, learn about what we do, who we are, the kind of projects that we work on.
Thursday also is the Miss Engineering pageant.
Come out and support Engineering Week, learn a little bit more about engineers and what they do.
Engineering pageant is in the TSE International Lounge on Thursday at 5:30 p.m.
Every year the USU Big Band Swing Club holds a Harlem Nights Bash. It's full of dancing, workshops, and a live band. Ryan Humphreys hopped on by to tell us more.
Cache Valley swing dancers gathered together last Saturday night to show their love for swing. For Mark Lindsay, the annual Harlem Nights Bash and Hell's a Poppin' competition is something he looks forward to each year.
Kind of the base for me is the Lindy Hop. It's kind of the granddaddy of them all, I guess.
Lindsay has been dancing at the Elite Hall since he was in high school.
But you know, and it was just a really fun learning experience. People were really open and inviting to dance with.
Erica Black said that it's not just the social aspect that keeps her coming back.
I love the music and I just fell in love with it. And so this building is really cool and I love the Spring Loaded dance floor, so I just stuck with it, got involved.
The competition features intermediate and advanced swing dancers showing off their skills for the crowd. The Elite Hall has a unique feature.
The dance floor is spring-loaded, so you're swing dancing and you're like feeling the beat through your feet as well as what you're hearing.
I love when the music does something so specific and you're able to feel it and just react to it and become part of the music. That's my favorite part, is just playing with it and responding to it.
The Elite Hall has been hosting swing dances since 1917.
I really like the Elite Hall because it's been here since like the original Lindy Hoppers were here doing it. And so it's an old, like original building.
For now, the tradition lives on. Ryan Humphreys, ATV News.
If you missed out, you can still catch some big band swing dancing every first and third Saturday at Elite Hall in Hiram. To find out more about the club, check out their website through USU's home website.
Thanks for joining us on ATV News. I'm Jessica Black.
And I'm Bailey McMurdy.
And I'm Meredith Kinney. Take care, Aggies, and we'll see you next week.